F.A.N. Nation, continuing our day 4 of the CGS, day 3 for the college portion of it, one-on-one interviews at the interview table. I am joined by the son of Vince Papale, Vinny Papale from Delaware. How you doing, man?
Good, thank you for having me.
Your dad was a real treat, but I got to tell you, I've never seen a dad be more about his son knowing, I guess who he is. And is that what was it like growing up? With the guy who's there's a movie about him.
Yeah, know? I mean, obviously, it is what it is. Like, it was cool growing up. He blew up around the area. It's just everyone knows Papale. Everyone knows the name, especially around the Philly area. So it was cool. I had a lot of cool experiences, but at the end of the day, just like you said, he just wants to be known as Vinny's dad, basically. And when he comes around my school, he comes around a lot. To my teammates, he's just Vinny's dad. And that's all he's always ever wanted to be. So it's cool. I mean, he's just my dad. I don't really think about it, but it is cool, like, when I look at the story and see all that he's accomplished and all that's happened. So, yeah.
So, I mean, we're going to talk about you, and that's fine, but there's one burning question I have that you can answer for me. I mean, they do on the NFL Network a football life, and we're talking about guys who their life has been football, start to finish. His story, obviously, the long shot, the one that happened to do it through open tryouts. And, when you heard him tell his story and then saw the movie, I don't know which happened first, but did you watch that movie and you're like, hey, did you not tell me something, or did they make that up?
I mean, so I was pretty young when the movie came out. I was about 9, so I guess I didn't really have a full grasp on the entire situation and what he actually accomplished. And even all the way up through high school, I mean, I knew the story. I understood the story, but I don't think I really got it until I went to college and I started playing college football. And I was playing college football, and I was like, wow, he really didn't play college football. That's pretty crazy. And I was like, how did he even do this if he never played college football?
Right.
So I'm like, wow, this is pretty insane. And then that's when I really started to appreciate what he did. And when you look back and his whole story, doing it, especially at 30, is honestly pretty insane. So it took a while, but now I can definitely say, I understand, and it's crazy.
So what has it been like for you to take the road that he did not travel, to go to college, to play college ball, to have him coach you since you were 6, I think is what he said yesterday?
Yeah, I mean, it obviously gets tossed around like me following in his footsteps, but, I mean, I'm really not. When you look at it at the situation, like I said, he never played college football. But, I mean, it's been great. I love sort of making a name for myself, playing college football. I mean, that's always been a dream, get a college education. I mean, I don't know what else to say. It's been awesome.
How was your career at Delaware?
Started off a little rocky with injury, but definitely finished strong. And it ended quick.
Yeah.
It flew by. So,
it's gone before
I never thought I'd be in this seat. If you asked me a year ago, it's crazy. It really flew by. But I'm excited about the future and what's to come.
I thought it was especially special. It was a special moment to have your dad in attendance for what this is, because he was a man who succeeded given an opportunity. And here you guys are taking advantage of an opportunity. It's you guys that maybe feel that you were underrated, underappreciated, flew under the radar unintentionally, a lot of unwords, but you guys are here because you believe that you have what it takes to not only make it, but succeed at that next level. So here it is, first of a new year. Bowls just wrapped up. National championship just wrapped up last night, and you guys are putting the pads back on, just like, let's get to work.
Yeah.
Is that kind of how you're feeling about it?
Yeah, it's just an opportunity. I mean, when you look at it, not every person who just finished their senior season has this opportunity. And it's an amazing one when you look around and see all the exposure that you're getting, the competition that you're getting. It really is awesome. And just going back to the old opportunity, I mean, it is what you make of it, and I'm just happy I have this opportunity to hopefully get my name out there, prove myself. And I know, like you said, a lot of these guys flying under the radar, we all definitely have that chip on our shoulder. So it's definitely noticeable on the field, and I think that's sort of good. It's a good trait to have, that chip on your shoulder. and it's pretty cool to compete with these guys every day.
So tomorrow's the big day, scrimmage day, right? You know, you guys have been here, seminars. You've heard speeches, talks from Stacy Elliott, you know, Zeke's dad, and then, of course, our financial guru, Rod Newhouse. And then, of course, you've had some do's and don'ts, maybe of interviews and what scouts are looking for and draft day. So you go out to the field, you put on the pads, you do the drills, you do the work, and then, of course, you come back and you wait for your name to be called for an interview. That hopefully isn't just me, you know. There's 32 teams in there, plus some CFL. What's been your favorite part?
I mean, obviously, it's all cool, the interviews and stuff, seeing this whole process, learning about the process, but at the end of the day, I mean, there's nothing like going out in the field and just putting on the pads and playing football, because that's what it really is at the end of the day. And, I mean, I just love playing the game. I love practicing. It's nice being out in the field after sitting around at night a lot. But it is fun. I just love the football part.
Have you talked with the Eagles?
No, I haven't.
Oh, man. Because I was going to ask, you know, what would it mean to be an Eagle? I mean, obviously, that's kind of like full circle, right, for your family?
I mean, I couldn't even imagine. That would just be an absolute dream come true, just growing up around Philly area and around the Eagles, basically, and the organization. I've honestly just been a diehard fan my entire life, so I'd probably be just like my dad. Like, he was a diehard fan, I'm a diehard fan, but if that were to ever happen, I can't even put words into it. It'd be amazing.
Have you reached the point now where your dad is asking you what it's like for things? Because obviously, you know, he didn't play college ball. He didn't go through a process like this or, you know, meeting with scouts. He went to an open tryout. So is he like, hey, man, so what was that like?
Yeah, no, he always says, he's like, when I grow up, I want to be you. So that's what he always says. But he's just happy for me. He's along for the ride with me, and I'm glad I have him in my corner.
Well, 2 days out there running the drills, doing the work, getting ready for the scrimmage tomorrow. It's kind of the big day, the finale. Do you feel that you have left it all out on the field each day, and then tomorrow, if there's anything left, you're going to leave that out there? Or were you saving just a little reserve for tomorrow? No,
I mean, every day I've just been leaving it all out on the field. I mean, why wouldn't you? I mean, like I said, this opportunity doesn't come around often. And definitely got to make the most of it. So, I mean, I feel really good about these past 2 days. I'm excited for tomorrow. Going to leave it all out in the field again, and hopefully have a good day.
Well, I'm excited to watch, man. Hey,
Thank
it's
you
a
very
pleasure.
much.
I wish you the best of luck. Thank you
very
so much.
Thank
Vinny
you.
Papale of Delaware. All right, we're rounding them up and knocking them out. And next up is a man who's been the talk of CGS. It is Cole Herdman from Purdue. How you doing, man?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me on the show.
Absolutely. It's a pleasure to have somebody that everybody's kind of buzzing about. You're tight end, big guy. I mean, how do you feel knowing that, you know, people are talking about it?
No, this whole experience has been great, you know, coming to the CGS. I didn't know a lot about it, but, you know, being here and meeting all the guys who run the show, and, you know, Jose's done a great job of, you know, making this all happen, and it's been amazing. This whole experience has been awesome. It really is one of a kind.
So Purdue, I mean, football, it's kind of 50-50. I think it's always funny. I'm not the biggest basketball fan. Like, I don't follow it religiously like I do football. And even college football is a little hard to keep up with. But I still fill out the bracket every March, right? And I remember I'll look through and I'll get my football college teams mixed up with the basketball college teams. And I'll be like, oh, man, Alabama's in this Final Four. Here we go. And that's definitely not the case, right?
Yep.
So Purdue, how do you feel it was as far as being an athlete there? It's led you here, but, you know, how do you feel your career went and how the fans treat you, the school experience, everything like that?
No, you know, I was an East Coast kid. I was, you know, raised in Virginia. I didn't know a lot about the Midwest. Honestly, Purdue was one of my first big offers. I loved the coaching staff. I loved the entire campus. Really thought it was going to be a home away from home, and it was. My 5 years there were great. The fans there are amazing. The coaches there are amazing. People there in general are just great people, and I don't regret that decision. It was a great 5 years, and I'm looking forward to making them proud in the future.
So a lot of the guys here, obviously they're here because they want to make sure that their year starting off on the right foot, but most importantly that life after college is starting out in the right way. So they see this as an opportunity to keep things running. You don't want to have such a long gap between bowl season and when your pro day is, when your next workout is. So we're keeping you fresh, we're keeping you active, we're taking you through the motions. There's going to be the big scrimmage tomorrow. Is that what you thought you were coming into? Like, what was your expectations, and how has it been knowing that tomorrow is your last day?
Yeah, no, like I said, I didn't know a lot coming into this, what it was all about, but the practices were great. We've had 2 hour-and-a-half long practices where we've got to showcase our talents in front of some scouts, make some catches, make some blocking, make it happen, though, in general. And tomorrow's the big day, the scrimmage. We're pumped. I know everyone in the other room over there is talking about it, and there's a little buzz going around. Defense is talking a little smack to the offense. You know how it is. Offensive guys just kind of quiet, and we're going to play tomorrow and see what happens. So.
I got to admit, guilty as charged, I love defense. The way that they can make a game momentum shift just on a dime with a sack, a strip sack, or an interception. I mean, it's what gets me to jump out of my seat. But I tell you tight ends, man, you guys are something special. And as a Niners fan, George Kittle and the season he had, I mean, wow, it makes you wonder about if the pay grade should be right about even. The Antonio Browns and the George Kittles. I don't know how you feel about that, but obviously football is football, and you just want to make a contribution to whatever team you get on.
Yeah. No, I think like you said, the tight ends are being used more and more in the NFL, and I'm in a great place right now. I think, from what I've heard from a lot of people, I think this is going to be the biggest tight end class actually drafted in a long time. And we're all excited. I know the guys I'm working with right now at practice, the other tight ends, we're all talking about it. We're excited for this draft and the upcoming process.
Yeah, I got a chance to know one of the other tight ends with an interesting story, Maven Saunders, who comes from the Bahamas. I guess that's where he's from, but he played at Florida and then moved to Kansas. So he's been having a really good time here. He was excited for the opportunity. So once this is all said and done, where do you go from here? What's next?
Yeah, so tomorrow's a scrimmage. Going back home for a few days just to see some family, but then next is training. Training in Nashville, Tennessee. I'm going to get some good work there, kind of prepare myself, get my body right, make sure all my speed, bench numbers are where they need to be, and then from there, combine and pro day after that.
When it comes to preparing for the next step, obviously CGS has tried to give you a few different things for your toolkit, your resume to take with you, and that is the seminars in the morning, talking finances, do's and don'ts of scout interviews, draft, things like that. Then they take you out to the field, and it's just have at it, go hit somebody. And then, of course, you come back waiting for your name to be called by the interviews. What to you, was a completely different experience from what you thought coming in?
I think something that sets CGS apart from those other senior games and the Senior Bowl games, like you said, we do have these seminars in the morning that kind of walk us through, the finances, the financial parts of, the whole business. We're going over, what they offer, how much you might get paid, how taxes play and all that too. Learn, it doesn't cost the same to live in Virginia than it does LA. 2 different state taxes, 2 different, tax stuff there. But, it's been great. All of it's been real informative. Like I said, everybody who's contributed to help this and make this happen did a great job, and, I couldn't ask for anything more.
Yeah, Rod Newhouse is kind of a financial guru. We're going to actually talk to him a little later. But it was funny. I was in the car ride going to the stadium yesterday with him, and he's like, the stuff that we talked to him about is the stuff that probably not a lot of people have told them before, and that's, you and your buddy are in the draft. One of you goes to Green Bay, the other goes to San Francisco. And your buddy in Green Bay gets this big house, and he's got a snowmobile and a fishing boat and stuff like that, and you're having a hard time paying your rent on an apartment.
Right. And
it's consider where you're at.
Yeah, no, Mr. Newhouse has done a great job. He really is an asset to this showcase. And like you said, it does vary where you live, what team you play for. You got to take those into account when you're, signing that first contract. You got to know how much you can spend on miscellaneous things and how much you need to save too. So it's really important stuff. Yeah.
Did he go over at all endorsements? Because I know a lot of players when they get drafted. Peyton Manning gave advice to, I think, Andrew Luck, saying don't take any sponsorships or endorsements your first year.
Yeah.
Wait until the next year. But they are important because they can set up your future financially the way that your contract can't.
Yeah.
Did he go over any of that
definitely.
stuff with you?
Yeah, Mr. Newhouse spoke on that too. We talked about endorsements. There's actually some products here and some companies that have came and talked to us as well. So yeah, I mean, he told us how important that is to maintaining those financials going into your later in the years, and it's a huge part of keeping yourself on the positive side of that money. Yeah.
How have the interviews with the scouts gone?
They've gone real well. I've talked to a lot of scouts, got a lot of feedback, answered a lot of interesting questions.
Any odd ones that stood out to you yet?
A couple odd ones, but for the most part, the scouts do a great job of keeping the keep making it more of a conversation. Rather than like a interrogation. It's kind of what I'll describe it to everybody out there. But it's been great. I really do love doing all this stuff, and it's been awesome.
When you leave here, because the scrimmage is tomorrow, it's not like it's a full day like you guys have had the last couple. But when you leave here, and let's say you get drafted, and it's a good position to a team that you're not mad about. It's everything sort of fell into place. Are you going to look back at what you did here and be like, that may have been that difference maker. That may have been what separated me from what was the next best on the board for that team at that time.
Definitely. This is an event that can separate you from being a guy who gets drafted or, being a preferred free agent or not getting picked up at all. I think this is something that can for sure set you up in the future.
I think, CGS is doing a great job of helping the guys that maybe feel underrated, underappreciated, under the radar, all those evil unwords that you don't want to hear, and giving them a little spotlight and attention. And the scouts being here, obviously, a very nice touch, and the way that it's run, different from, like a Senior Bowl, like you said. But, I always remind the guys that are here, I said, I want you guys to get drafted. If it was up to me, I'd draft you all. But
appreciate that. Thank you.
There's a climate change in the NFL. Shaq Griffin, with one hand, got drafted to the Seahawks with his brother. Had a great combine. Adam Thielen, undrafted free agent, broke a record for consecutive games over, so many yards. And it's like you're seeing more and more of those stories. So just because you didn't go to a Bama or a Clemson or, even a Pac-12 team like where I'm from, WSU or Stanford or whatever, like there is chances for you guys. There's opportunities for you guys. Okay. So I really hope that you guys have used this opportunity for all it's worth.
Oh, I think, all the guys here know that, and like you said, for some of those small school guys, this is, a great opportunity for them to, get from under the spotlight, or get into the spotlight, and make a name for themselves here at the College Gridiron Showcase.
Cooper Kupp and Kendrick Bourne, they came from Eastern Washington University, where I'm from. So, I mean, they can come from anywhere. But, hey, man, I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you very much.
You've done outstanding. I look forward to seeing you work tomorrow. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me on. Appreciate it.
All right, last day of the College Gridiron Showcase, McNair Stadium in Fort Worth, Texas. We have found our outstanding player of the day, of the week, really. On offense, A.J. Ouellette from Ohio. How you feeling, man?
I'm feeling pretty good now. Had a pretty good scrimmage, pretty good week. Got to give credit to the O-line, though. I mean, they opened up holes. They were blocking. They did it all for me.
Now, I pulled the coaches, and each one, it wasn't even like, well, it could be this guy, it could be this guy. They were just like, AJ, all day. He was a Swiss Army knife out there. He put in the work. He's improved from start to finish. Like, how does that make you feel coming into something that's an opportunity and know that from a coach's perspective, you have taken full advantage of that opportunity?
I mean, that means a whole lot. These coaches actually know what they're doing. I mean, these are top-level coaches. And for them to see that I can, play running back, fullback, I can even go out at slot and stuff like that, I'm versatile, it means a whole lot.
So anything particular out there that you were looking to do today? Because clearly you left it all out there, but of course, you had yesterday, the day before, the interviews with the scouts, the seminars. I mean, this was kind of like you were really going to bring it 110%, or it was going to be like, I'm just going to go out there and I'll be out there. What was the focus going into today?
I just wanted to show, all the players around here and stuff like that what Ohio football is, all about, and how Frank Solich kind of molded us into just, warriors out there and just all around just football players. Like he says, don't credit yourself on being a running back, credit yourself on being a great football player. So, that's why I wanted to come out here and prove.
I believe you are a fantastic football player. I can't guarantee that it'll move you up on the draft board, but hey, today you are the Fan Show Player of the Day.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you, man.
Thank you.
All right, from McNair Stadium in Fort Worth, Texas, it is the last day of the College Gridiron Showcase, and of course with that brings a most valuable player of the week, of the day, and this guy has been that for the defense. Kevin Thompson of Bethune-Cookman. How you feeling, man?
Man, I'm feeling pretty good, man. It was a great experience and just blessed for the opportunity.
Now, of course, you were part of the first team. You hung around. We were short on tight ends. You said, I can play tight end, and your agent was like, no, pump the brakes. But then all of a sudden I look out. I see that helmet, that number 94 flying around, and you're back for another round, man. I mean, is that – you feel like you needed that or you just wanted that?
Well, it was a great chance to demonstrate my motor. So, any opportunity that I could get, I took advantage of. So they told me I could play, and I wanted to play. I wanted to play with the big boys, so that's where I was at. I got a chance to play against some of the top competitors in the game, some of the top people that's going to be coming out this year. So I capitalized on every opportunity I had, and I made the most of it.
Now, when I pulled the coaches, they said on the defensive side it's a little bit harder to find a standout guy because you're a team effort, you're a unit. But obviously you've been one of the stronger members of that unit, and you've been progressing through your time here between the seminars, the scouting interviews, the interviews with guys like me, and now being out on the field. This was the last day. Do you feel you left it all out on that field and earned your coach's respect?
Yes, sir. I feel like I left everything out there, but I still feel like, there's room to get better. There's always room for improvement. But at the same time, I feel like I made the most of my opportunity, and I came here for exposure. I got that, and not only did I get that, I got more than that.
Well, man, I'm really happy it was you. If a scout asks what separates you from the next guy, you just show him this interview, this picture, because you earned it, man. Congratulations.
Man. Thank you.
Kevin Thompson.